African parents, you need to take your freedom. Like, there's no asking, like, mommy, can I do this? Daddy, can I do this? Baby, you just better do it. Hey, it's me, it's Zion, and welcome back to another video. So, I kind of wanted to do like a sit-down video and like kind of just talk about stuff. Mostly this video has to do with like African parents and like just growing up with them. And I'm kind of shaky because like even like this has to pertain with like today's topic, but it mostly has to do with like the idea of like fear and stuff. Let's get into the topics. Even like coming to this park and recording, I was like so freaking scared to come and record because I've been conditioned majority of my life to have this idea, like just fear like the smallest thing, and this has held me back in so many ways. Like, and I'm trying not to use like, because I was watching a TikTok recently talking about like, I was watching a TikTok talking about how I use filler words like and like and stuff. I'm trying to stop that a lot right now. But the other day I was, feeling myself and I wanted to go on like a walk. Like I was like, I was kind of like in my fitness like phase, and I wanted to go on a walk and just get 20k steps, because most of the time when I have like a goal set for like my steps and stuff, it's mostly around 5k. But I was like, let me step it up and do 10k. But I was feeling really ambitious that day, and I was like, let me do 20. I was like, let me go on this walk. So when I came back from my walk, I was feeling like pretty accomplished because it was, and I think it was like 2 p.m. So like I hit 20k steps before. It was afternoon, but like basically by afternoon, and I felt pretty accomplished of myself. But when I got home, my mom was like, where did you go? Like when I was on the walk actually, she was like, oh, where did you go? Why are you in the bush? Like, how African, why are you in the bush? Why are you in the bush? And I was like, girl, like I'm literally going to walk. And as soon as I came home, the first thing that she said to me is, you're wasting your life away. I was like, girl, what? The kind of thought process I was going through, I was like, girl, like that's the most ridiculous but that's the most stupid I've ever heard. Growing up with my mom, kind of how she is, like I feel like with most African parents, how they are, any sign of rebuttal or combativeness, they take it as a personal diss on them. So I was like, girl, whatever, like you've been in bed all day, like not to like discredit her and all that she's done, but she was really in bed up until that point. So I was just like, what do you mean I'm wasting my life away? But with most things that she says, I started to internalize it. And I kind of started questioning myself. I was like, am I wasting my life away? And then that just kind of went into like a whole bunch of different subcategories. Hold up, I'm gonna move the camera real quick because the sun is like blazing. And kind of with this video, like one thing that you'll learn about me is that when I talk, I go into subcategory, and then I'll get back to the main point. But the main thing, I just want to clarify that. But when I was talking about before, but yeah, I started to kind of like internalize it a little bit, because with most things that my mother has said, especially African parents, they instill fear from you at a very young age. And I was like, am I doing something dangerous by going on this walk? Am I wasting my life away by simply wanting to do leisure? And I started like dialing back. I'm like, girl, you are not wasting your life away by going on a walk. That is like what? It was about like 2 hours of my day. But like, I'm not wasting my life away because of that. That just kind of brings that back to that point of how a lot of African parents live in such a fearful mindset, and they don't realize how much that impacts their children. Like, it has shaped me in so many ways. I'm 20 right now. I'm 20 years old, and it wasn't up until now I started really experimenting with my life and kind of breaking that mindset, because after being conditioned to think that way for so long, it's kind of hard to get out of that mindset. So basically my own experience with this, starting at a young age, like I felt like my mother like has always like been a very fearful parent, and I'm understanding of like her experience and the stuff that she's gone through, because I've heard my mother's story and I understand like where she's coming from and like why that factors into her decisions. But I feel like conditioning your children to think that way has held me back personally, because I used to, and even now I'm still trying to learn how to break it, but like small things. Like, I'm so anxious about very so small trivial things, like filming this video. Like, no one gives, like, obviously filming in public takes a lot of courage, but like doing small things like this, that even took a lot of me to do, because I'm like, oh, what if this person's look at me, what if this, in reality no one gives sorry to tell you, baby, but nobody gives a shit. Like, being conditioned to think that way, like small little things, like before leaving the house, like my mom just like your parents just pulling up random ass videos, be like, oh, I'm going on a walk, oh, by the way, like, I just seen this video of this girl got her head chopped off, and as she's walking, and then she backflipped into a car, and then all this other stuff happened. I'm like, oh, thanks for telling me that. That's good to know. That's good to know. It's like, or like just small things like that. It's like, oh, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. Like, just fear marketing you, and like, it's like you carry with that. Like, after being told that all your life, like, you just kind of carry that with you, and it's like, my God.
Treat me like a human, and I will treat you like a lady.
And even taking like opportunities, like career wise, I like doing so many things with like film and video, like with even now my major right now, it's health IT, and I've always been passionate about video creating and just putting my vision out there, but kind of hearing like fear from my mother coming from a place from obvious concern of not wanting me to see me fail, but at the same time, I kind of started to internalize that. I was like, what if this video thing is not good enough? What if, like, this is not cut out for me? Obviously, you should have a backup plan, but I was really just, like, with school and life, I was just living it for the sake of appeasing her and making her feel better about that, about her life. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, yes, one of the things I was doing was kind of taking a back seat in my life because I was trying to appease my mother. But not only that, I was complicit in that. Like, I was okay with myself with taking the safe option. Sometimes you need to take the safe option. Like, y'all don't listen to me. Like, I'm all over the place. Like, like, but at least for me, I was complicit in doing stuff because it felt comfortable, because it felt like it was okay. And in doing so, that affected me because, like, I lost out on opportunities, I lost out on chances to grow, and I was so scared of failing. That's one thing, too. Being conditioned to think that way, one thing that it does, it conditions you to fear, or at least me, made me be so fearful of failing or being seen in failing. So I adapt like qualities like being a perfectionist, like this, like all this is like interlinked, like it goes here, goes there, goes there, like all these little tiny little things, like they are in connect, like they affect me in so many ways that you don't realize, and I don't realize. But yeah, like being a perfectionist or just being scared to see failing, like even like with YouTube and stuff like that, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do YouTube because I'm scared. What if it doesn't work out, baby? Who look, got my hair going down, like who give a my first time kind of doing these like sit down talk videos. And another thing you'll learn about me is I'm not very good at, let me stop downplaying myself. I will get better, and I want to get better at articulating myself. I'm not my best. I'm not at my best right now, but I want to get better at it. And hopefully, you guys are understanding what I'm saying. If not, it'll get better with me a long time. But basically, I wanted to talk about changing my major. Recently, I've been contemplating about changing my major to back to what it originally was. I originally went to school for visual communications, and that was something that I always wanted to go to school. Like, I especially wanted to go to film school, and I've always wanted to do stuff with like video and just creating something in the creative realm. But kind of the fear that I had instilled in me is that that is not a feasible career, and like that is not possible. And obviously, yeah, it's a very hard industry to break into, but how do I know if I don't try? How do I know if I don't try? Like, with so many things, I don't know, once I hit the age of 20, obviously my brain has not fully developed, but you start to gain your consciousness, like, little by little, and all these things start to set up into your brain, like, how do I know if I don't try? This little squirrel. Y'all look at it. It's so cute. Girl, you better back up. Why is this squirrel still here? Anyways, I've never been that close to a squirrel, but like just like instilling to me that it's not feasible to compare. And for the longest time, I thought it was not possible, and I thought that was not a feasible career. But I realized that I never know if I really don't take this girl scaring me. But I really never know if I don't take the chance. How I know, even if it ends up failing, even if it ends up not working out, at least I know that I tried, and from there I can go for where I need to go. Like, and it's crazy coming, but even like with her moving to America, like that, like I don't want to say like my mom only. Like I'm getting deep. Like this girl's going into her trauma, but I don't like y'all need to know. Like even with my parents moving to America, that how do you like I just can't fathom it. Like, how do you make a decision that monumental to move to another country with you have no family here, you have no nothing, and do something that you did out of fear, but seeing your children do the same, it's like, hold up, slow down, Savannah, slow down. Kind of like this message to myself, and I guess whoever who's watching who resonates with this message, is that you have to live your life for yourself. You can't live your lives for your parents. And while you can be understanding of their experiences and everything like that, and sometimes, and the rare cases is coming from a place of wisdom, and there is some truth to it, you can't take everything they say with a grain of salt, because you are only given this experience once, and to let someone dictate how you should live, or to let that fear control you, is the weakest thing that you can do. Don't get comfortable with living in fear, because fear will hold you back from doing so many things. Like I've had this conversation so many times with my friends, and my friends have told me, because I'm a very fearful person, and they're like, Zion, like fear, especially my girl Sky, if you're watching this she got golden advice, but she kind of told me, like, girl, fear will hold you back in so many ways and completing so many things in life. And gladly I'm starting to realize that, and I'm just gonna, if I want something, I'm gonna go get it, even if I end up failing, even if it ends up not working the way that I want it to work. Life is a journey. I take every failure as a place to grow, as a place to learn from my mistakes, and it's part of becoming who I am. It's part of the greater message, the greater journey. And how boring would life be if you got everything that you wanted? Like, I'm going to subcategory into subcategory, and this has nothing to do with fear, but it kind of does. Like how boring would life be if I was comfortable without its adversities? How boring would life be if you just got immediately, bro, my hair is like pissing me off, like I'm giving like Tracy Barbie, and this is not even in focus, and I'm gonna be mad when I watch this back and it's not in focus. But how boring would life be if you just got instantly what you wanted and what you accomplished without any kind of adversity, without any type of obstacle? It was like, no, we need, not saying you need to have traumatic, you need to get hit with the car to realize that, oh, I need to quit my job. Like, you guys know what I mean. Like, but look at these. Don't look at the idea of failing stop you from completing what you want to do. Don't let the idea of fear and being comfortable with where you're at stop you from doing things, because fear can only comfort you so much. But yeah, one more thing I wanted to add, like this has to do with just one more thing. Like this, I'm going into so many subcategories, but one more thing before I go is, with African parents, you need to take your freedom. Like, there's no asking, like, mommy, can I do this? Daddy, can I do this? Baby, you just better do it. And they're just gonna have to learn to adapt it, because, like I said, that fear, oh, don't do this. This is not good for you. This is not, like, my African accent is so horrible, but don't do this. You hear it constantly. And it will always stop you. So my advice to you is, with freedom, you just kind of gotta grab it by the balls, and you just gotta take it and learn the consequences after. Like, I've kind of learned that too. Like with anything that you want to do, these squirrels are scaring me, but with anything that you want to do, you just gotta grab it and just force it, because at the end of the day, like, what are they gonna do? Like, probably kick you out and disown you and tell the whole family how you are the most horrible child. I'm just playing. But what's the, like, if that's the case, then they're just developmentally delayed and they're just never going to change. So, and you know that, they're never going to change. A lot, like I think I keep on saying but a lot of parents, African parents to be specific, and this have to do with my girls out there and my guys, with a lot of African parents, they are stuck in this mindset, and I've kind of came to this realization too, that they are never going to change. They are never going to get out of this fixed mindset. And obviously you can sympathize with them and you can be understanding of their experience, but it's crazy how you can be understanding of their experience but they can't be understanding of yours. But we're gonna get into that later and another time. But it's crazy how you can be understanding of their experiences, but at the end of the day, our parents are just people. Our parents are just two people who happen to have children. And obviously I have deep love for my parents and they're not just people to me, but at the end of the day, that this idea like, oh, I'm older than you and I'm wiser than you, so you need to take everything I say as your Bible. It's like, well, no. I can look at your experience and say, hey, I resonate with that a little bit and I understand where you're coming from. But as a person as well and as an individual as well, I have gone through things and I have went through things and I realize I have learned, I have my own experiences. I have own factors that shape how I make decisions too. And no, I'm not going to take your word as valid. But realize that these are just people. Now it's officially the end of the video, but thank you so much for watching. This is my first kind of like sit down talk videos. Like I always watch them, like video essays and all that, and I thought it would be fun to attempt and do. I'm not the best at articulating my words, but I will get better and I will get better conveying what I need to say. I'm just a little girl that has a lot to say. My brain thinks faster than my mouth, let's put it that way, but very soon my mouth would think faster, or it'll balance it out. But bye, thanks for watching. Stay beautiful.